Hello, all you wonderful people out there, and welcome to my Media Museum. In a previous episode, I said box 6 of my 45 RPM vinyl records collection would contain a lot of Kiss. Well, I had so many Kiss that I decided to pull them out and make an episode of just those. So here we're starting off with Beth, 1976, and the B side of that being Hard Luck Woman. And if you remember correctly, and it is marked as the B side, I'm not guessing on this one, and that is marked as the A side. You might remember from a previous episode that we had a Kiss 45 that had Beth on it as well, and it was the B side in that case. But here we go, moving on. It's Calling Dr. Love, and that's the A side. Again, it's clearly marked. Here, just marked over here. And then the B side of that being Take Me Any Way You Want Me. And yeah, we've had some Kiss 45s in the previous episodes that are not in this deck here, and I think that's cool. I'm trying not to do too many repeats, but I think Love Gun is one that we might have already covered. Clearly, I like it when they mark them. This one's clearly marked A again, but it wouldn't have been much of a guess there to figure out the A and B. Hooligan, Peter Criss's song, was not nearly as good a song as Love Gun, but it's off the same album. So then we got to these. I was really happy when I came across these. This was really something else to see. All 4 of the 45 singles from the solo albums. So here we start off with Peter Criss's Don't You Let Me Down. And this is interesting because it's the only one of the 4 that's a promo copy, not for sale. I think his was the least selling one of them. And the B-side is the exact same thing. No difference whatsoever. In fact, it says side A and side A. So it's a double A, apparently. They could have picked another song off of his solo album to put on there, I think, but they did not. So here's a nice shot of the Casablanca sleeve. And the Paul Stanley 45 from his solo album. These were all 4 released at the same time, as I remember it. And I bought the album, so I didn't bother buying any of the 45s back then. But we got Hold Me, Touch Me as the A side. And the B side of his was Goodbye. And if I remember correctly, Aces sold the most, Gene sold second, Paul, and then Peter. So here we've got Gene's, which was Radioactive. And I know I do have a couple of copies of this one. And the B side on this copy is See You in Your Dreams, which is not the same version that was on the Kiss album. I believe it was Rock and Roll Over. This is the re-recording that he did on his solo album. So, and some people don't know, but he was dating Cher at the time, and she does do some background vocals on his solo album. So she's on there a little bit. And here we've got Ace Frehley doing New York Groove, which, you know, was a great song. It was a remake, though, written by Russ Ballard. It wasn't an Ace Frehley original. And the B-side being Snowblind. Now, I absolutely loved Ace Frehley's solo album. I thought it was amazing, and I still do to this day. It was clearly the best of the 4, and I think that surprised them all, really, a bit. So then they came back out after the solo albums and put out Dynasty, and I Was Made for Loving You. There was some controversy about this being too disco, and supposedly the fans hated it and stuff. I didn't hear that from my friends. We all liked it. It was a pretty good song. We didn't have an issue with it, but supposedly there was some controversy in some circles over it. B-side of that being Hard Times, which was an Ace Frehley song. Hard times made me strong. And then I'm showing you this because it's another copy of I Was Made for Loving You, but the B-side of it is the live version of Rock and Roll All Night from Alive. So, interesting that you had 2 different versions of that 45 put out. Then, we're jumping a bit here, moving up to Creatures of the Night with I Love It Loud being on the A side, and the B side of that one being Danger. Cool. And then this was a real big deal at the time, supposedly. Lick It Up. Everybody knew they were going to take off the makeup and that the cover of the album was going to have them without their makeup on. So the day of release, me and a bunch of my friends ran down to the record shop to see what they looked like without their makeup, you know, because back then you didn't have the internet. It was a lot tighter. We hadn't seen them without the makeup before, and I was kind of disappointed at the time that it was just Gene and Paul at the time, because Ace was gone and so was Peter, so you didn't get to see them. But still, it was cool to get to see Gene and Paul without their makeup on. And the B-side of that one being Dance All Over Your Face. So somebody was clearly a big Kiss fan and buying up all their singles, which is cool for us now. Then next up, we've got Young and Wasted. And I am guessing at which one's the A-side and which one's the B-side here. I personally think All Hell's Breaking Loose is a better song, but I really don't know which one was the A-side or the B-side of that one. It's not marked. Usually they marked them pretty good. Casablanca did. I guess Mercury didn't think it was important to do so. And this one's clearly, Heaven's on Fire is the A-side. I remember this song being big on the radio and how well it did when it came out. And the B-side of that one being Lonely is the Hunter. And next up, we've got Thrills in the Night, which is an edited version. Not sure what they cut out of it or how it was edited, but it's clearly marked as an edited version running 357. So take that for what it is. B-side of that being Burn Bitch Burn. Clearly a B-side. I don't think they would play that one on the radio. Can't edit the middle word of the title out now, could you? And then this one was interesting because I think it was Molly Hatchet and even Ace Frehley and Kiss all did this song Hide Your Heart within the same year, and I thought that was really odd, especially the Molly Hatchet doing it. But here's Kiss's side one, so you know, clearly the A side, Hide Your Heart. And the B-side of that one being Betrayed. And those were from Hot in the Shade, by the way. So now we've got an Ace Frehley one. Now I know Ace Frehley, excuse me. I said Frehley for a long time. So did my friends before we found out it's actually Frehley. It's Ace Frehley. And you can get some confirmation on that if you didn't pick it up off of Alive 2 when Paul introduces his Shock Me solo. But also on the Unplugged, Gene says, oh, Frehley, Frehley. So, yeah, it's Ace Frehley. Always was. But some of us pronounced it wrong. I am well known for pronouncing some names wrong. It's difficult sometimes. But this is cool too because it's the picture sleeve, as you can see. And being a huge Ace Frehley fan, I did it again. Ace Frehley fan. It was really cool to get a hold of this one. A side of this being Insane, and the B side was The Acorn is Spinning, which was an instrumental track off of the second Sighting album. So, getting back to Kiss, we've got Crazy Crazy Nights here on a picture sleeve. I've got a few picture sleeves here. I put them at the end. I didn't want to separate them out and do them in a picture sleeve episode, though I might add them to it just because this is going to be a separate standalone Kiss episode. And it would be cool to show this picture sleeve off in a group of other picture sleeves. But we've got the A side of Crazy Nights and the B side of No, No, No. Oh no. Alright, so now, next up, we've got Reason to Live. Everybody needs a reason to live. And B-side of that's going to be Thief in the Night, but it's kind of cool they gave you a copy of the cover of the album there on the back side. And we've got Reason to Live with a B-side of Thief in the Night. Now I do have 2 copies of that one. This one is a lot rougher looking, but there was 2 back-to-back copies there in that one. And then this one, it's kind of disappointing to me because while I thought I got a Turn on the Night 45, I like the way they kind of did that with the, kind of repeat of the solo albums with the 4 pictures there. The 45 for it is not in the sleeve. Yeah, so I got a sleeve of no 45. What have we got? We've got another Thief in the Night, Reason to Live. So, okay, I got 3 copies of Reason to Live 45s then. And this is the last one we've got here in this batch of Kiss. Let's Put the X in Sex, which was off of one of their greatest hits packages. And I'm trying to think of what the name of that one was. It's just not coming to mind right now. I should know it. Like I said, I'm a pretty big Kiss fan, so kind of surprised that it's not coming to mind, and it's not stated on here either. But here we've got Let's Put the X in Sex on the A side, and the B side of this is Calling Dr. Love, but it is a re-recorded version. It is not the original version off of Rock and Roller. So there you go. There's some Kiss for you. Have a great day, and come on back again.